How are you, Colonel Halverson?
Just fine. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Sir, it is good to see you. I am honored to have the occasion to speak with you.
Thank you. It's my honor.
Oh my gosh. I grew up in the flight line of a Selfridge Air Force Base that became Selfridge Air National Guard Base.
Oh my gosh, I knew Selford well.
Oh, and my so I grew up there as a boy in Metro Detroit in its flight line, and then as my mother grew up in northern Michigan, and my grandmother would bring me to Phelps Collins, that was a joint use base. And so since I was knee high, I've had a fascination with aviation, and read a lot. My children are now following on their own volition. We live in a flight line of Willow Run Airport in Michigan, and
great.
Yeah, so we have crop dusters flying over our farm all the time for our neighbors' property. And so I have to say that since I was a lad, I knew of your service and your heroic work. So this is a uniquely high honor for me to have the occasion to have your time and meet and visit. Last year at the embassy, we did a celebration and a commemoration of the conclusion of World War II. So that involved a noting of the significant battles, celebration of VE Day, VJ Day, and integrating our allies and partners. And even with our Japanese brothers and sisters, it was a beautiful occasion. My Japanese counterpart was the first I met, and we set forth to celebrate this peace in the Pacific that we've been blessed with.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So it was, so this is really an extension of that. And I wondered if you could share with us a little bit about your military career, your storied military career. I know that you received your pilot's wings in 1941, the year of the Pearl Harbor attack. Could you just let us know how your military service began and in World War II?
Yes. Well, I was a pilot already, and so I signed right up for the pilot training program for the Air Force, and was accepted and got my wings as the Air Force pilot, along with my RAF wings, which I obtained earlier.
And what plane did you train in for the for I think it was the Army Air Corps initially? What plane did you train in, and then what plane did you fly during World War II? And what were your missions?
C-54 cargo. They put me in a cargo plane. C-54, and that was my aircraft for the Berlin airlift. And naturally, they instructed me from Hill Air Force Base to go to Berlin to fly the airlift, and that suited me just fine. I enjoyed the opportunity to participate.
After World War II, we know the Soviets didn't leave East Germany. They blockaded Berlin. Up went the barbed wire, and then the wall, and then began the Cold War. But so you were on the front lines, one of the first responders, if you will, to provide. Could you speak to a little bit about the nature of that mission?
Well, I was Wiesbaden in West Germany, stationed there, and from there with C-54, flew right into Berlin, into the Tempelhof Airport. The French had an airport there, and the British, and we had the Tempelhof. And so I got to know Tempelhof very well. In fact, they had me come back as a commander years later. anyway, it was a great experience for me.
So could you give us a little bit of a background on what inspired you to in the context of that mission known as Operation Vittles, providing food for those held behind the Soviet lines, food.
I was stationed at the time at Mobile, Alabama, a foreign transport operation with 4-engine DC-4s, C-54s. And they put in a call. I wasn't married at the time, and put in a call for volunteers, and I volunteered right away to go fly the airlift. And that's how I got involved in it, and enjoyed it very much.
So that was Operation Vittles, and then you started on your own, the very inspiring Operation Little Vittles. Can you talk a little bit about what led to that?
Well, I was waiting for my airplane to be unloaded in Berlin at Tempelhof Air Base, and the fence was right close, and there were a bunch of kids. They're about 8 to 14, lined up watching every move. And so I walked over there and talked to them, and they had English in the schools of the young ages.
Wow.
And we got along fine. They knew enough English that I could understand them. And they said, well, how many tons of food do you have in that airplane? And I said, well, 20,000 pounds. And I said, boy, that's a lot. And I said, yeah, there's one that's in every airplane's got it for you. It's condensed, so it goes a lot further. We don't care whether it's condensed or not. We just want something to eat.
Sure, yeah.
They're great kids. They said, just don't give up on us. I'll never forget this. The one young girl, about 8 years old, she says, we'll never forget what you're doing this to get us through this crisis. And so please remember how much we appreciate it. I told them that they could tell when I'd come into land, when the first circle of the airport, I'd wiggle the wings back and forth, waving to them. Watch that airplane for the stuff. And
oh, that's fun.
Not anybody else. And so that was a signal. Wiggle the wings of the airplane, the traffic pattern, and the kids would just be thrilled. They didn't have any candy, and just there was had willing helpers from America and the candy companies, and said, how much do you need and where do you want it?
Oh my gosh, really?
So it was great. The support system was outstanding, and I had more fun than the kids did.
And as you were flying over the wire, you would
East Germany, and East Berlin.
You would drop out of the aircraft.
Oh yeah, we flew with escape hatches out to pull out the flour dust so it wouldn't contaminate the controls, and it was an easy way to do it. I had 3-man crew and crew chief, and sent him back there with cardboard boxes with handholds kept in the side of them, check it up against that escape hatch, and it just go all over the place. Oh, and it was an anxious parachutes. They had GIs tying up parachutes day and night.
Way to go. Oh my gosh.
It worked well. The gravity was
So you parachuted these many pieces of candy, mini parachutes holding mini or candy to the children waiting below, and they would run and get them and satisfy their.
Roll them up, tie the strings on 4 corners of the handkerchief, and roll the handkerchief down into the candy bar.
I can't imagine the joy you brought those children after the ravages of war that they suffered.
Oh,
Horrible loss of life. Uh,
yeah. But to see the wiggle wings and all that flood of parachutes opening up, coming down with the fresh Hershey candy bar.
so
Well, Hershey was a heavy
you
producer.
you became known as Uncle Wiggly Wings or the Berlin Candy Bomber.
Yeah, those were my nicknames.
And speaking of children, I think I see a couple of your great grandchildren running around behind you. It's always great to see the
Yeah,
young life. So you have a
yeah, it was fun for me. The letters they got, well, a lot, some of them I dropped. Well, I knew where I was in either in the weather between the navigation points in Berlin, and I knew where to drop it. And the kids that were going to school, and suddenly out of the low clouds came parachutes with candy bars.
I can't,
Teachers were asking them about it. They were late and we getting chewed out for being late to class. And I was waiting for a candy bar. She couldn't explain that to me. And they're dropping candy bars in the sky. And she says, I can't believe it. And well, they had some and they were late. And showed her the Hershey covering that it had on it. So it was fun all the way. The kids just couldn't believe it.
what a blessing you were to the lives of so many of the young, and I'm sure their families were uniquely consoled as well. Hey, buddy,
Well,
there's Batman.
That's Logan. He wanted to say hello
Logan, nice to meet you.
and meet a real ambassador.
Are you gonna serve in the Air Force like your grandfather?
Maybe.
Maybe so.
yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you. How old, Logan? How old are you? About 7 or 8?
10.
10. Okay. So we have 7 children of our own, and they range from 15 down to 21 months. And we have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old. So right between your age there, Logan.
That's so great. Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's where it is, his family.
That's a blessing indeed. So the airlift, Operation Vittles, Operation Little Vittles ran from September of 48 until May of 49. And in that time, you also known as the chocolate flyer, you dropped 23 tons of candy to children.
Me and my buddies, yeah.
You and your colleagues.
And we had a map and base operation in Wiesbaden, West Berlin, and West Germany, and where the last drop was made, and so we scattered it around. The buddies dropped as well. So we had a good thing going there for Hershey candy.
Well, it's a beautiful legacy. I mean, your storied military career at a unique point after the war. So you went on to become an aeronautical engineer and had a hand in space exploration.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. How good can it get?
I can't imagine what you're thinking when you see things now like SpaceX.
Yeah.
The rocket goes up and the rocket goes down, the reusable spacecraft. It's
Brings back memories, a different kind of objective, but anyway, it was, they really appreciated it. Got tons of letters from the kids. But all of them had a map on where they lived. Make sure I drop it where they lived. So I scattered it all over. Well, my buddies started it. I had a master map, and my buddies dropped, and we'd drop it different places, scattered it around.
Love it.
So it was fun.
So just a couple of other questions, sir. You continued this on after you retired from the Air Force in 1974, and you did similar drops in other countries. Is that true?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'd see. Where else did I drop? French, Guyana.
Go on.
What?
Go
Al-
on.
Albania,
Albania.
Albania, yeah.
Japan.
Just loved it wherever we did it.
Yeah, Guam and Iraq.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Iraq too. Yeah, so it was fun, and
So, did you ever see or keep one of the parachutes or pieces of candy as a keepsake, or did you ever meet any of the children who received
oh
the candy
yeah,
later in life?
yeah. Well, I went back as the commander of Templehof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said, hey, you'd be a good guy to be the commander of Templehof. He's qualified, he's a full colonel.
Oh my gosh.
Send him back. So they sent me back, and the kids came streaming.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that was a good experience. Kids tell me how they were going to school in a fog one day, and suddenly out of the clouds, got right in front of them a fresh Hershey candy bar. Two of them died on a handkerchief parachute. That was quite a thrill when they didn't have any.
Absolutely. How beautiful that was. So not only do you have a storied military career and service to our country, but you're also really a humanitarian and a model of others to follow. You're a man of faith and family life, and deeply respect that.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of wisdom that you could impart to our world and from your journey and years of service?
On your first appraisal and meeting someone, uh, keep a positive attitude. Look for the good things in the contact, and focus on that, and develop that direction, and improve it. And
Well, I can't help but think that, as you probably know, here in the Indo-Pacific, there is a mission that's run out of Pacific Command known as Operation Christmas Drop. And I don't know if you've ever been a part of it, but I think its roots really trace back to you and what you did. And really every year since the mid-50s, they've brought Christmas toys to children throughout the Indo-Pacific, really standing on your broad shoulders.
yeah,
You were in that. You did participate.
yeah, I was involved.
You were okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I had a feeling, but no knowledge.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so,
I told my children this morning that I was going to meet you and interview you and meet your delightful daughter Denise, and they'll be looking forward to hearing of our conversation, and I really look forward to sharing this with the world. And whenever I can, we'll be sharing your story, however I can. Denise is there? Your daughter is there a movie yet done on your father?
No, well, there are many documentaries, but the full-length feature film we'd love to have happen has been tied up in a contract for 40 years, and nobody's been able to shake that loose. So
Okay.
eventually somebody will come along that can do that, and a lot of
Yes.
people have tried. So there's also something that you should ask him to tell about, because whenever he speaks, he talks about attitude, gratitude, and service before self. So
Oh,
talk
great.
about that, because when you say, what message do you want to leave? This is a really good one. So talk about that, Dad.
yeah, well, attitude unlocks the skill in the person's ability, and direct reflection of attitude, and whether he'll share it or not, and whether he's a team member or not. And as the commander of the air base later on for 4 years, the thing I look for in an officer that come in is attitude. Well, I'm a first lieutenant. That's a second lieutenant job. Boy, that separates the guy right away on what bank he's in. And so attitude in life, and meeting the neighbor, the new neighbor, the job, on the job. Well, that's not my part of my job. That's somebody else's. And it's hard to tell them that, but to be open to help. So attitude, gratitude, and service before self are sure agencies that will lead to success. I wrote a book about it. Berlin Candy
What's the
Bomber.
title of the book?
The Berlin Candy Bomber by Gail Halverson by Press. What press is this?
Cedar Fort.
Cedar Fort Press.
And there are about 6 editions, so you want to get the 2017 edition.
Okay, I'll be going on online today and purchasing one for my children who are all voracious readers.
Good.
There's a really great, a couple other great ones for kids as well.
Yeah.
What would those be, Denise?
Talk to him for a minute. I'll run upstairs and get him. Just a
Okay,
minute.
great, sure. So you really, this is our first time meeting, and you really radiate your life motto that I'm sure is rooted in your faith. Your attitude is just brilliant and infectious. You're grateful. You express that gratitude for all you've been blessed with, and really going back then, you were serving others above yourself, and who were in a hard spot.
And it's a special position to be in. If you want real happiness, be a light in somebody else's life, and you find true happiness by the response you get. Most generally, it'll be a very positive response, especially when it's got chocolate in it.
The chocolate doesn't help. Excuse me, the chocolate doesn't hurt. My wife is a big chocolate connoisseur, and I call it vitamin C, small c.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I tell you.
Okay, there's the beautiful book, the Berlin.
That's the edition you want to get.
Okay, very good. And that's 2017.
Yes, that's his autobiography.
Wonderful.
It's the 70th anniversary edition with a foreword by Gerald Molen.
Okay.
And then this book is great for junior high age or any age. It's
Candy Bomber.
Candy Bomber, the story of the Berlin Airlifts, Chocolate Pilot, and it's written by Michael O. Tunnell.
Michael O. Tunnell, okay.
And it's beautifully written. It has wonderful, the pictures are excellent. It's really good for junior high or late elementary. And now here's your next. This one is a picture book, Mercedes and the Chocolate Pilot.
Oh, great.
These are for your younger ones. Well, the older ones, everyone likes it. And it's by Margot Raven.
Margot Raven, okay.
And you see it has some colored.
Yes, beautiful illustrations.
Yeah. And then this one is also from 2017. And they've got it in paperback now. It's sold out of the hardback.
So that's by your father and you.
Yes, and it's more of a gift book. It has really nice pictures, and it has more stories from his youth in it.
Oh my goodness.
So there's that one, and then one more I'm going to show you. This one is Christmas from Heaven.
Oh my goodness, okay.
It's from the Tabernacle Choir Christmas presentation in 2000, I believe it was 2013.
Lovely. It comes with a DVD as well.
Yes, and it's Tom Brokaw narrates, and it's just, It's really fantastic. So it's
What,
so there's, I mean, it's
Oh.
also a big, a picture book, but it has, you can also look at it on YouTube, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir program of Christmas.
2000. Great.
2013, 14. And it's called Christmas from Heaven. So Tom Brokaw's amazing as he narrates that, of course.
We will have the entire collection at the ready for my children. They when they get a book, they blow through it in a day. For Christmas, we purchased them a set of 3 volumes of a particular book, 200 pages each. 3 had gone through them in a day, and there were a couple of others gone in minutes. And they will have their ravenous appetite for reading. They'll blow through these in no time. We appreciate you sharing those with us, Denise and Tom Brokaw, who really so greatly highlighted the greatest generation of which your father, Colonel Halverson, is a part of. And just in hearing his story and in seeing him and knowing his character here just on display alone is an element of that greatness.
Good. Yeah, and I hope you can get the copy of the footage of parachutes coming out the kids in Berlin.
Yeah, the Brokaw video really has a lot of nice original footage in it.
Well, so our kids are homeschooled. We have 5 that are homeschooled presently. 2 are
terrific.
enough will be, and so we'll turn this into a little homeschool lesson tonight for the first lesson, and then when the books arrive, the lessons will continue.
Well, the kids should love it. Yeah.
They'll be delighted. They'll really be delighted.
Any chocolate and come down nice crisp packages and.
I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with them, Colonel and Denise. I appreciate your building a bridge to us here in Fiji. We were going to incidentally have Operation Christmas Drop come down here, but due to the plague, they had to really curtail some of the activities. I believe it did take place in Guam and I think Palau, but beyond that, there were limitations this year. But I'll always be an advocate for this and a propagator of your legacy, Colonel Halverson, and all that you do.
I like your flag on your lapel. Okay. Thanks a lot for your time.
God bless. I'm honored by your time, sir. Thank you for your service and your example as a humanitarian and a man of faith.
Thank you very much. Grateful for that.
God bless, sir. Take care. Thank you. Bye, Denise. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.